Well, it's been a while. Been a hot second. It's been what, a year since I last posted my last YouTube video, and that was a Red Dead Online outfits guide for Christmas. Uh, and my bad. Firstly, I want to say that my bad. I haven't posted in a year. Um, and as you can see, this isn't Red Dead Online like how I would usually post, and that's because I don't really play Red Dead Online anymore. But I wanted to post something because I hadn't posted for like a year, and I do want to get back into this, get back into YouTube. And this is kind of gonna be like a little mix of two kind of themes. One being why I haven't posted, and another one being um, why COD is pretty much not in a good space right now. I thought that would be a good like introduction back to YouTube, come out with why Call of Duty isn't doing so great and why it's at the lowest it's been. This is gonna be more this is gonna be more kind of like just like a rant video pretty much. So if you guys like somebody just yapping and yapping, for no apparent reason, boy do I got some stuff for you here. So I'm not gonna yap anymore doing this intro, but I think I just want to come out like right out of the gate and say Black Ops 6 isn't where I thought it would have been when it released. When it first released, I was super excited about playing this game. I hadn't played Modern Warfare 3 because for me, Modern Warfare 3, let's be honest, it was a DLC. It was pretty much just the same as Modern Warfare 2. There were some minor adjustments made to the game that made it more better than Modern Warfare 2, I would say, because my God, Modern Warfare 2 was complete dog shit. It was a terrible game. I don't think I even had a whole 24 hours worth into the game. And I dropped it. I really had no intention on playing that game anymore. And when Black Ops 6 got revealed, I was pretty excited about this, mostly because it was a Treyarch game, and at this point, I was tired of Infinity Ward's Modern Warfare remakes whole thing. I was just kind of done, pretty much over it. And so, with Black Ops 6 being announced and revealed, I was pretty excited about this because I was like, I didn't really play that much Black Ops games when I was a kid because I didn't really play Call of Duty. Like, I didn't own a console that had Black Ops. I had an Xbox 360, but I never played any Call of Duties. The only times I really played Call of Duty was whenever I would go to my cousin's house and we'd play Black Ops 2 Zombies. We'd 1v1 each other. The only Call of Duty or the first one I should say I owned was Advanced Warfare. And because that was my first Call of Duty that I owned, I have a biased opinion on it. I think it's a really good Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare. I know not a lot of people, I guess, like it, especially when it comes to like jetpack CODs because you have Black Ops 3. But honestly, I did really enjoy Advanced Warfare campaign and zombies. I didn't play multiplayer as much, mostly because I didn't have online. But I dabbled in other Black Ops games before. I did play Black Ops 4 for a while. Not a lot, but I did play it. And then Cold War, even though it's not titled as a Black Ops game, it's a Black Ops game. It's just pretty much it's Black Ops 5, but just not titled as that. But going back to Call of Duty Black Ops 6, I was excited when this game got announced. I really had high expectations for this game because I mean it one normal zombies was back. Modern Warfare 3 zombies was absolutely boring to even watch on YouTube, and I also kind of had that urge to play Call of Duty again. If like it came back and I was pretty much just like yearning to play a shooter. Because before this, I wasn't really playing shooters. I wasn't really playing FPS games, so I was like, you know what? Let's get this Call of Duty, see how it is. And when I got it, which I actually ended up purchasing the Vault Edition for this game. My first introduction to it was honestly pretty good, I would say. The maps I already right off the bat I knew were not great, but everything else was pretty good. The Omni movement felt pretty nice. The guns felt good. Um, Zombies when I played zombies, that was great. And as also the camel challenges, they're the easiest they've ever been. Just doing 100 headshots for the base gun for primaries and secondaries, excluding launchers and melee weapons, and then doing two special camos, and then doing the mastery camo challenges, which I think are the only thing different because before all you really had to do was get the military camos or the base camos, and then I think the mastery camos unlocked. So I think that was a bit different in this Call of Duty. But either way, challenges were more easier, and as you can see with the footage being shown right now, I have dark matter, which is actually the first time I've ever gotten the final mastery camo. So for me, I was like, I knew this was my chance to get it, and I did. And honestly, it was my God, painful experience to do this. I know the Abyss camo is way more painful because it's Warzone, or I should say Plunder, but my God, was it was it not enjoyable at times, especially doing launchers and melee weapons and snipers too for a bit. But going back to what I was saying, I was excited about this game, and the beginning of it was good until we started getting more and more into BO6's lifespan, and it went downhill to something I didn't expect. For instance, recently Activision, or maybe I mean Activision and I guess Treyarch both, they've been in some hot water as of recent. I think the main thing as to why Black Ops 6 isn't doing as great anymore is the cheating. The cheating in this game is terrible. Now, I haven't really I've only came across a cheater once, and that's because I don't play ranked, at least not now. I was so busy with the camel grind that I really had no time to even grind like ranked. So I was just doing mastery camos, but even when I was doing mastery camos, I forgot what map it was. It was one of the more smaller maps. It wasn't Stakeout. It was the other like really small map in Vault. Was it Vault? I don't know if it's called Vault, but it was on a one small map, and I remember playing, and all of a sudden, this guy on my team comes out saying, "Oh, there's a cheater. Oh, this guy's cheating. What an asshole. Blah blah blah." And I go to kill this guy, and he hits the most devious like 180 on me. And at that point, I'm like, "Yeah, dude, on controller, yeah, you're not doing that shit, dude. Let's be honest. You are not scump, okay? You are not hitting that shit." And I saw the kill cam, and lo and behold, yep, flicked right onto my forehead. And of course I reported him, and he actually got banned that mid game. Um, but that was my experience with the cheater. But I know a lot of people have had more worse experience with cheaters, especially in ranked, and I think more on PC and on higher ranks as well, because I see all the time but like streamers, YouTubers, and pros playing ranked and just getting like a team full of hackers and aimbotters, wallers, everybody. And oh my god, I just couldn't imagine playing that, especially with ranked and how competitive it can be. And the whole cheating software or whatever they use for this game isn't doing a good job at dealing with this whole situation. There's still a lot of cheaters. And I think that's the main point as to why not a lot of people are playing this game is because the cheaters. When you're playing a game, you expect that when there's a problem, for it to be resolved in a timely manner. This situation has been big and not changed at all for a while now. And that kind of low-key sucks. Because, you don't want to play against a cheater. You want to have a fair chance of killing the other person on the other team. And with cheaters, being in this game and how prominent they are, it pretty much doesn't really put you in a good position to enjoy the game. And the other thing I think isn't really doing Call of Duty or Treyarch and Activision in general justice is the AI situation. If you played Call of Duty, you probably know, or if you played this Call of Duty, you probably know what I'm talking about because it's been talked about before by a lot of other YouTubers more popular than me. But for those of you who don't play Call of Duty, let me clue you in a little bit. Now, Call of Duty, or I should say this one, has a lot of art in this game. More specifically, loading screens. You have a lot of loading screens in this game that you can use, and it was brought to many people's attention that a lot of this art did not look natural. There's a specific one in that I'm talking about that is a zombie like Santa, I think, or like a zombie like reaching towards you in one of the loading screens, and he has 6 fingers. I don't think naturally anybody has 6 fingers on a hand. I think that's just basic, human anatomy. You know that you just don't have 6 fingers, regardless if you're a zombie. And there's just been a lot of other like things that you like loading screens and art that just doesn't really look good or not necessarily good, but just natural, art that, an artist would make. And to me, that plays a heavy role into my likeness for this Call of Duty because AI as a tool is I would say is helpful. AI has a lot of people to get, to connect with each other through translation apps. And, I feel like used properly, AI can definitely be helpful in certain situations, but using it as a way to like take over something specifically and cut corners, I don't think is good, especially in the art industry, because a lot of people go to college for art. People go to art school. This is an actual profession that you spend years, trying to master. And for your job to pretty much be taken away by an AI who's not getting paid and, is not real and a living person, it probably affects you mentally and probably discourages you to follow in that career path because of just how, companies would rather use AI to, cut corners and, make their lives easier and spend less money. And not only is AI being used in the art in this game, but also in the voice actors. I don't recall who specifically it was, but I think it was for the zombies um, actors. I forgot who it was. I think it was it Sam? The AI in zombies. And I think Peck and Maya. Um, those actors, I think, from what I heard, got like some AI voice lines. I think Maya specifically. There's a clip going around. You could probably find it if you just go on TikTok or any social media and look up Maya AI voice line. There's a AI voice line of her that just goes like weirdly, just like the tone and just vocaloid of it just like changes, and it's like the most like out of pocket, like most out of nowhere, like sound you could hear coming from a person's voice. And I mean, just talking to normal people, that's not how a normal person sounds. And AI not only being used in art in this game, but also for voice acting. And once again, voice acting is an actual profession. It's a job, and using AI, to cut corners and pretty much take over somebody's job is not a good. And I think a couple of the actors have not returned or don't plan to return because of this AI, which entirely fair. If my job was probably being taken by AI, I don't know if I'd want to work for that company because who knows, I'd be next. I could be next. So that's another thing, and that's pretty much what I've seen that's kind of like deterred people from Call of Duty is the fact that not only are they using, oh, I don't know why my accent. I don't know why I had an accent there. Not only are they using AI, but they're also, they're cheating. They're just not dealing with the game, in a good, in a good way that makes the players satisfied with, how the game is. Cheaters are running around everywhere. AI from a job and, employee standpoint, somebody who probably works a job, seeing AI in a game, it probably leaves a sour taste in your mouth as it does with me. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not somebody who's an artist or a voice actor, but no, I can sympathize with people's jobs possibly being taken by a robot. And that's kind of like why I would say Call of Duty right now is just not in a good space. Not to mention, this is another factor that comes into the play is the league, Call of Duty League. Right now, I think the Call of Duty League is one of the main things keeping this game alive specifically. And that's really, I think, not that great because a lot of people, and I feel like the normal average person is not gonna really watch Call of Duty esports. Somebody who doesn't really pour their entire time into Call of Duty isn't going to watch, esports because for them it's kind of like it's weird or maybe they just have no interest in it. But the Call of Duty League being the main thing that's kind of like keeping this game alive, I don't think it's gonna be a long-term thing because one, the Call of Duty League in itself doesn't really seem to be that adamant on keeping content out. If you have any sort of like info on the Call of Duty League, you would know that for the most part, we don't really get a lot of content from them. The only things we see are like the online qualifying matches, the majors, the championships, and that's pretty much it. And even then, they're really much not really doing that great in keeping content. For Major 2, which I don't know when it happens, but Optic's supposed to be hosting that one. They just kind of like refused or just didn't want to pay or help Optic, finance a challengers tournament at their major. And majors or challenger tournaments are really important, especially because that's like the main way people get into the Call of Duty League. That's how you get scouted, to be a professional, playing in the Call of Duty League, and then eventually, if you're lucky, somebody picks you up. But with no opportunities for people to prove themselves, it really puts down the amount of people who can, or not who can, or yeah, or just people who can be, you know, a pro. And, you know, that's just not good, because you can see it even now, the league has so many old, not, I would, I say old heads, not out of disrespect, but it's true, you have people like Kenny, you have people like Slasher, uh, I'm blanking out on names, Attach, and etc. There's so it's Dashy too, so there's so many players that you know, have been in the league for a long time, and now, you know, there's no opportunity for new players to come into the league, which honestly kind of sucks. And it's bad when players, or not even players, ex retired players are not playing the game. You know, um, Scump's not playing Call of Duty as much anymore. Nade Shot's not playing Call of Duty as much anymore. Zuma, I don't think when when the content creators of your game stop playing the game because it's not doing good, it's dying, it's not in a good state, you're kind of fucking up, you gotta have some sort of like sense of, or I guess common sense to understand that, hey, maybe we should, fix our game because the content creators who have been in this game for years are not playing it anymore. Um, and they've come out and said it themselves. You see people like, Jev, you see people like Scump, like Nate Shot, you see people like admitting that Call of Duty is dying, and some of them even say that they don't think Call of Duty is going to be alive in a couple of years because of the fact if it keeps going down this path. And that is just like crazy to think about because everybody knows Call of Duty. Whether or not you play it or not, Call of Duty. Staple in the gaming community. Everybody plays Call of Duty. Everybody buys the Call of Duty all the time, every year. Every time one new one comes out, everybody's buying it. Same thing with this one. And for people to now like come to like the realization like, oh my God, this game might not be alive in the next couple years is honestly crazy. And honestly pretty disturbing because it just shows that like Call of Duty now has really chosen quantity over quality. You know, pumping out a Call of Duty every year, I don't think does the game any justice, personally. And that's honestly something I've really disliked is the fact that these CODs come out every single year. And you spend like what a year playing one game and then then after that it's like a whole new one comes out and then you got to spend what $70. And honestly, the only reason why I really kept playing this game was for the Master Camo or Dark Matter specifically. Because at this point, by the time I felt like the, COD was kind of dying, for me, I was already like halfway through the game, halfway through the grind, and I was like, alright, might as well just finish this. And before this, I was thinking of even like after doing Dark Matter to just take a break from Call of Duty because of just how much shit is going on right now. And I don't know if it's gonna really change, you know? Um, they keep adding updates, and I think that's the one thing that's not doing them justice is the fact that they keep adding things for money not fixing their game. Like you see it right now. Like if you go into the shop, there's a Squid Game collab in this game. You can play as the red light, green light girl. You can play as the front man. You can play as the shape heads. The people in the pink jumpsuits. You can literally play and buy those characters. And it's just like, why? Focus on dealing with the cheaters, not filling your pockets. And I wish like companies thought that way instead of like, you know what, let's just make as much money as we can, before this game inevitably dies within a year, and then we give you Modern Warfare 4, you know? Like, oh my goodness. It really just like it's disturbing. It's kind of disturbing just how this game has changed from trying to be good and now let's just make as much money as we can, you know? And it really just doesn't like it just doesn't work. People see right through it. Anybody with a brain sees through it. And people have come to the realization that, if this game's not going to be treated well, why should I keep playing it? You know? Why should I, um, suffer just to play this game? And people have been switching games. For example, like Marvel Rivals just came out, or not came out. It's been out for like a month, but you know what I mean. In terms of like the lifespan of a normal game, it's just came out, and people have been playing that. Marvel Rivals has pretty much, honestly, I would say it's killed Overwatch. Personally, I think so. I think it's killed Overwatch too. Um, Overwatch barely has any players compared to before Marvel Rivals came out. Marvel Rivals has so many players still. The queue time it's so fast. And most likely, a lot of those players probably had Black Ops 6 or played Black Ops 6 before and probably switched over because, hey, it's a free game, it's Marvel, people are going to play. And just people are, there's a new online game that's actually, and guess what, the developers actually care about their community, so people are going to play that game over a game that the company rather line their pockets with money. Now don't get me wrong, Marvel Rivals still has a bunch of expensive microtransactions, but guess what, they still listen to the community, they still deal with things. Hell, they even dealt with the mods. And don't get me wrong, some mods, upped your FPS and stuff like that. But there were sometimes even nude mods, for the models in that game. And they still dealt with that. And how much you want to bet if people were downloading mods for Call of Duty that made the female characters nude? I don't think they would have. I don't think they would do anything. Let's be honest. You know, but probably people are playing Marvel Rivals and who played Black Ops 6. Shoot, I play Marvel Rivals. Don't get me wrong, I don't play it a lot. Not because I don't like the game, just because, I usually play it solo and usually I'd rather play with, friends. But I play Marvel Rivals and I have a funner time sometimes than playing Black Ops 6. And it sucks because I think this game has a lot of potential. The zombies, the campaign was pretty good. But multiplayer has obviously a lot of problems. Personally, one of the main reasons is the maps. The maps aren't great in multiplayer, and I thought the updates, the maps that came with the updates would make it better, but it really hasn't. It really hasn't, and this just kind of sucks, because I always enjoy Call of Duty. Don't get me wrong, I didn't play Modern Warfare 3, but for good reason, I would say. But this one, I really thought was gonna be different, and it was different in the beginning. I thought Call of Duty, BO6 was doing pretty all right in the beginning, but now I don't know what happened. I don't know what switch changed, but now everybody's either leaving, talking shit about the game, and I'm not trying to come out here and dig right Activision up because believe me, I don't like Activision and Treyarch as much as you do, but. Don't get me wrong, Treyarch, you're a go for making Black Ops, Black Ops 3, 2, and even 4, but let's be honest, you didn't, you're kind of fucking up with this too. Um, but yeah, man, I really hope things, change for this COD because I will say I do believe that it's possibly dying. And that kind of leads me a little bit as to kind of like where I kind of have been, I guess a little bit. Because I know I want to talk about that a little bit, even though you guys obviously came for the title, why Call of Duty is dying. But yeah. So let me talk about what I need to talk about a little bit. So as you can see, anybody who's a subscriber watching this video or somebody who's new to this channel, hi, welcome. My name is Chronic. Um, you'll see that I haven't posted for like a year. And usually, that's honestly pretty understandable. A lot of small content creators, small YouTubers don't really post consecutively or, consistently. But, as you can see, before I was posting a lot of Red Dead Online content. And I think I did one Modern Warfare 2 video. I don't think it did that great. But I thought, try it out, whatever. It was like a 40 bomb video. Didn't really do that good. And then I think after that I just kept on doing Red Dead Online. But as you can see now, this isn't Red Dead Online. I'm talking about Call of Duty. And that's because, well, I kind of stopped playing it. And I will make a video on that, a Red Dead Online video. And don't believe me, I have some stuff to say about Red Dead Online, more than I had to say about Call of Duty, BO6, and COD in general, because I played Red Dead Online for years. I even platinumed Red Dead 2. Yeah, I 100%ed everything, did everything there is to do in that game. I pretty much I put my heart, my blood, sweat, and tears into that game. So I have more knowledge on Red Dead Online than I do COD. But yeah, I just kind of lost, passion for Red Dead Online, and at that point, it was really hard for me to find a game that I was gonna make content on because for me, all I knew was posting Red Dead Online. That's pretty much all I did was post Red Dead Online content because it was pretty simple. But things changed, and I'm definitely gonna talk about that in my next video that I will release soon. But I do wanna probably set up some stuff before I play it or before I make it. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my rant of just me, bitching about Call of Duty Black Ops 6. But I do want to preface that I don't, want this game to fail. I honestly really want it to succeed because I think it has, an opportunity to do so. But they gotta fix it, man. They gotta fix their shit. If they don't fix their shit, it's just gonna keep going downhill. And yeah, that's pretty much really all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching this video. Anybody who does watch it, I know it's pretty long, going on what, 30 minutes now of me just yapping my ass off. But this isn't my normal content that I usually make. um, I'm definitely gonna try to up it definitely more because I do wanna come back to making YouTube videos and posting, and I hope you guys will stick along for the ride. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye.